Hello YouTube, this is Morgan Airspeed Prime here with my next Avatar news update video. I'll start away say that there's nothing super interesting here. This is just a lot of little things to cover just to be up to date. So first up here is just, I suppose, complete absolute confirmation of the most recent delay for the two books that keep getting delayed. So Dark Horse have updated Aang's Unfreezing Day to say February 1st. Now, if you're wondering, oh, is that another delay? No, Dark Horse just used the Wednesday comic book store date. Everywhere else uses the Tuesday date for the book. So obviously it was delayed to January 31st. This is just the day after for comic book stores. Same for Legend of Korra Patterns in Time, which interestingly, people brought this one up a couple of times about how they didn't update the site for like the last, say, 2 or 3 delays, but they did finally update it here. So it was November 8th elsewhere, November 9th here. Again, just the whole Wednesday situation. So just absolute confirmation that this delay has actually happened, just for anyone wondering. Next, Youtooz have another figure. This time it's an Appa and Aang 1 foot edition. Pretty cool, you know, Appa kind of sitting down, holding Aang. It's 1 foot tall, so it seems pretty big. And it is going to drop later on today, 3 p.m. EST. So that'll probably be like, what, 7-8 hours after this video is uploaded, give or take. So just be aware of that if you do want to get this. Then this has been, I think, up for a while. Avatar Cross Black Milk clothing. So basically it's just a clothing brand actually doing stuff that's, I suppose, not just sort of like kind of graphic t-shirts and stuff like that. You can see here some Tui and La designs, some Water Tribe designs. There is some use of sort of stock imagery, but there's also some kind of nice, more subtle things like, you know, there's a Spirit World one, and so on. And I like, you know, Rava Vatu is quite cool. But yeah, it's just more kind of stuff. Interesting to see it going more than the, I suppose, fashion side of things rather than just like t-shirts. But again, not too much to say. Just if you're interested in it, Black Milk have some Avatar clothing, and it'll probably go on. Interesting, they are doing they do Avatar and Korra. That is kind of notable because Korra just seems to be forgotten by like so many companies, which is kind of interesting. So the most significant thing here, though, update 32 for the Avatar Legends role-playing game Kickstarter. So last month's update was bad. It was negative. It was, are we ever going to get this stuff? They did not say anything that gave you particular confidence in what's going on. This one is sort of leaning, I suppose, more confident in that, like, okay, things aren't as bad as last month, maybe made it out to be, but it's still going to be delayed past what we basically have known. So, printing updates. The printer is now running at full capacity. This means things will be going faster, and very soon we will have a shiny new update timeline for you. We wish we had one for this update, but that hasn't happened yet. It's going to take a little time to sort through the backlog and give us a solid timeline. Yeah, we'll just more news, and that's really it. They do say there will be some absolute final PDFs for both books coming in the next couple of days. I guess this is the sort of like print final absolute one that is in their mind as perfect as it can possibly be. And I'm guessing with this one, it's more just the color correcting. That's probably more of the bigger thing, just to make sure the colors are correct with everything. So they're saying that will be there before June 17th. So within the coming week, we'll have that. So there's that. And then, yeah, just the confirmation again, they're going to be at the convention. So there's not too much to say here, but I suppose to go back to the previous update, just to make this kind of clear, where was it actually? No, that was just an extra update they did here. Yeah, they said last month that the printer's only functioning at about 30% capacity. So even at full capacity, it'll take several months to print all the books. So this is still valid. What they said from before is still valid. Like, this isn't a thing where like, oh, it's back up and running again, so the books will be sent out very shortly. No, it's still going to be several months from now, where like they're saying they have to get through a backlog, so they can't even figure out a timeline for this project until the printer goes through like other stuff. So it's still going to be a couple more months. Keep in mind the printer is in China, so even when they are printed, they're going to have to be shipped to America and then from there to other people. So there's still a sense that this is going to take a very, very long time to make happen. It's hard to, again, give an estimate because I don't know any details. They probably know better than I do, but they're still not giving anything. But I'm guessing that probably the earliest we can maybe expect this is very end of the year, like December. But it probably will still go into 2023, just because I think there's been no real luck with a lot of what's been happening with this. So, you know, frustrating, but at least there's sort of some progress, that it hasn't taken months for it to get back up to capacity. So this probably keeps it from maybe going into like middle or late next year, like we were maybe fearing with the last update. So beyond that, we are just basically waiting for books to come out. Like, this continues to keep getting delayed. Yang Chen, The Dawn of Yang Chen is, I think, the main hope for the rest of the year. That's coming out in just over a month from now. That's going to be very, very exciting when it hits. But there's also some hope because the Comic-Cons are coming up. And while I don't think there's any real sort of things to go on to say, like, for sure we'll get news on Avatar Studios at the conventions or anything like that, the time since the announcement of Avatar Studios is expanding quite heavily. So they're going to have to say something sooner rather than later to just keep hype up to some degree, because otherwise there's not a lot of stuff coming out to sort of keep the excitement going, and they're going to have to say something eventually. So again, if they're not going to say anything at SDCC or NYCC, then we're probably looking at the February investors event next year for them to say anything, or again the conventions next year. And how long is too long in terms of Avatar Studios is happening because you've generated hype for the franchise again over the last couple of years? How long can you keep that going? I think we're already sort of on the edge right now, and stuff like, you know, Yang Chen novels is going to really help, but you need to say something soon, because Avatar Studios feels like it's kind of this myth to some sections of the fandom because so little official information has come out about it. So I do think they need to say something soon to avoid people just feeling like it's never going to actually happen. So in the comments, let me know what your thoughts are on the news topics that I covered here. But that has been the video. Thanks for watching, and bye.